Hi folks, good morning. First serious video of 2023 as we await the drama and the speaker in the House, and it's the anniversary of the insurrection and all that fun stuff. Nice to see everyone, virtually, because I can't see you. I'm going to have a very serious conversation here today that is not explicitly about poetry, although it's about everything to do with poetry. And I will start by saying that I want to not apologize, but sort of offer my understanding that what I've been doing of late here and on social media has not necessarily been the usual way I interact. It's been very commercial. I have been very much pushing various money-making and money-asking for schemes, and it's not something I like to do. And it's not something I'm especially good at. But I need to sort of explain what's going on so that people do sort of get why it's been this way lately. So I am broke. I don't think that by itself is a lot of news, but it's not quite the same kind of broke that I have been in the past. This has been one of the longest spells since my actually standing up and doing a training session that I've had probably in 30 years. My last actual training session getting paid for in front of a group of people using my professional skills was back in November. And while money has come in since then based on things I've been doing, like editing manuscripts for friends and various other things, the bulk of my money over the past month has come from here, has come from asking for donations via a GoFundMe, which I loathe doing as often as I've had to do it for the last 2 years. It's not something I like doing at all. I don't like the feeling of not giving back or not offering value, and I know that people don't think of it that way. I know that people don't think of it, as begging, but to me, and it's ingrained in me, that it feels like panhandling, and I'm trying not to do it, but when you are up against it, it's been very hard. COVID knocked us both down. Me and Miss both got knocked down by COVID, which slowed a lot of our income and which slowed an awful lot of other stuff that we had going on. I have jobs that have been promised to me that are on hold, and that's disturbing, and its own set of problems with my field of professional expertise. As a freelancer, that's not an unusual thing, but there's usually enough in the pipeline that you can sort of like shuffle. I've had nothing in the pipeline. I don't really have any gigs scheduled except for the workshop that I'm running on January 22nd regarding poetry, and that's my own. That's not doing it for another agency or doing it for another company or anything like that. So I've been scuffling, behind on rent, behind on bills. I'm concerned about my car. Missy's car has been going through its own set of issues, which has depleted her ability to sort of contribute to things. And it's going back in next week for what should be a corrective problem, but isn't for some reason. So we've been up against it money-wise. And up against it money-wise is not good for creativity. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone, but there is the myth of the starving artist out there. And it is very much a myth. For those of you who have not read it, Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own is an essay, a little book, highly recommended, although it has very much a slant towards women. There's a lot of information in there. Oh, God, I'm exhausted. I've been up since 4. There's a lot of information in there and a lot of stuff that I think applies across the board as to the need for stability, financial, emotional, etc., to truly be able to blossom as an artist. I have my own struggles with emotional issues and my own struggles with a whole lot of different aspects of that, but what's happening right now is that I'm broke. And broke leads to panic and leads to insecurity and leads to what do I do now? And it leads to focusing elsewhere. So if you have been inundated on my social media by requests to give money, join Patreon, buy books, buy ebooks, etc., 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 I apologize, and I really do mean that. It's not something I like to do. I like my work to stand out there, and if you're interested in it, then you purchase it. And begging and marketing are not really my high points. It's not what I'm in this world to do creatively, even if it comes with a territory sometimes. And so this post is essentially an apology for that. I'm lost a couple of patrons. I think to the vagaries of the economy. Not much, not a little, but not a lot. But when you take that into account and take into account the other patrons I have considered worthy of my support, I don't support at any huge rate for anybody, but I support a lot of individual little Patreons out there, which adds up. So at the end of the month, between that, taxes that are withdrawn, fees, like for instance, I came out $150 shorter this month than I typically come out. That's tough, and I don't blame anybody for withdrawing. I don't blame anybody for not being able to pay up, but it does affect me, and I have to sort of figure out my ways around it and move forward with it. I'm telling you all this not so much to make anybody feel sad, guilty, sorry, embarrassed or anything like that. I'm telling you that because there is a direct link between stability and creativity. I know people like to think of starving artists and mentally ill artists as having some leg up on the process, or that it comes with the territory, or you can use it for material, which is a phrase I loathe. But when it comes right down to it, if what you're worried about is how you're going to maintain your warm, connected living space for over months and months and months, it wears on you, and it wears on your sense of creativity. My work is not as good as it should be because I don't feel comfortable taking time to put my energies into it when I have so many other things that I have to do. I have applications out for 2 jobs right now that will eventually end my freelancing career. I don't necessarily want to do that because the freelancing is how I financed myself since 2006, early 2006. I actually bent a knee and thought about it and have applied to get my pension from my old company, which I am eligible for, which I've had sort of sitting in the background as a reserve. I'll be 63 in a few months. We are coming up on the first anniversary of my dad's passing. An awful lot of stuff is really making me feel the pain of getting older as, quote, a starving artist. And so that's why you've seen an awful lot of that from me. Now, once I get this done today and a couple of other things, I'll probably be able to back off a little bit and maybe get back to creativity. We just put a new song. The Duende Project just put its last song out. There may be one more if we can complete another recording that is incomplete, but we'll need to sort of think about how to do that logistically. I don't know when that will happen, but for the all intents and purposes, the neighborhood bar thing that I shared yesterday to all of you for free is an income generating piece that's out there, and I'm very proud of that. It's a critical piece of our work, and it was one of our staples during our live shows, so I'm happy that's out there. I'm happy for all of you. You guys do sustain me, and I don't want to make this sound like it's ingratitude, because it's not. It's not at all. I have succeeded beyond my wildest dreams with what we're doing here. And reaching out again like this and saying thank you and share it and see if you can get other people to sign up or join the workshop. Of course, if you're at the $10 up level here, you don't need to worry about paying for the workshop, but there are people out there who will. Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful, and I hope to reward you all more with more work in the very near future, and better work, because I can tell I'm suffering, and it's hard, and my anxieties are catching up with me around it, and I don't like that. So, thank you for listening to my little rant. Creativity and stability linked, regardless of what people tell you. You don't do your best work when you're nuts. And I've been nuts lately. So, that said, I thank you. again. And hope to see you soon. 22nd, I got a workshop. Don't forget, deadline's the 20th to sign up. And thanks.